All right, we are live in Enugu as the governor, Mba, is presenting the 2024 budget. Let's listen in.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, the Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, Chief Judge of Enugu State, principal officers and revered members of Enugu House of Assembly, PDP Chairman, Enugu State, members of Enugu State Executive Council, special advisors to the governor, local government chairmen, clergy, permanent secretaries, heads of boards, institutions, commissions, agencies, and parastatals, top government functionaries, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor and deep sense of responsibility I stand today to present our state's 2024 to 2026 multi-year budget before this hallowed chamber. This event is of even more importance given that it is this administration's full-year budget, which will go a long way in setting the pace for the achievement of our growth objectives. It is not so long ago that we presented the revised budget for 2023 before you honorable members of the House of Assembly. And I must again recognize your expedited consideration of that bill and put on record our appreciation for your commitment. In line with human nature, we have become accustomed to this level of commitment and therefore request that you deploy a similar degree of dispatch in your consideration of this current bill. As you are aware, we have taken a bold view of the growth our state is capable of achieving if we are willing to believe in ourselves and utilize our God-given human and material resources to their fullest. Our vision remains to make Enugu one of the top 3 states in Nigeria in terms of gross domestic product and achieve a 0% rate in our poverty. We also intend to grow our GDP level of $4.4 billion to $30 billion before 2031. To achieve these ambitious goals, we have adopted a number of philosophies, which have also found expression in this year's budget I'm presenting today. The first philosophy is that private sector investment is critical to the generation of growth that we seek, and consequently, we must invest in the factors required to attract private sector investment, such as basic infrastructure and amenities like roads and water supply, transport services, as well as modernization and digitalization of our public services and their associated processes. Secondly, we have taken the view that one of the surest ways of ensuring sustainable eradication of poverty is through the aggressive enhancement of our education and public health systems. After all, we know that education correlates all over the globe with economic advancement and prosperity, while health, on the other hand, is critical for the optimization of the human resources of any nation or subnational entity. Finally, but most critically, we have taken the view that reliance on allocations from Federation Account Allocation Committee has not served us well to date and is unlikely to take us to the promised land. Consequently, you will see in this budget a philosophy to maximize our internal revenue generation efforts by improving the efficiency of collections, enhancing the efficacy of government services to the populace, and evolving creative new revenue generation sources, particularly by optimizing our natural resources. For example, improved oversight and regulation of our mining activities and land assets. Before going into the current budget proposal, permit me to cast a glance backwards at our performance in the past period. By end of year 2022, this Honorable House approved a budget size of 160 billion, 602,416,770 naira. During the third quarter of 2023, there was need for a supplementary to accommodate new projects and programs arising from priorities of the new administration in Enugu State, and also to reflect the price variation due to inflation. The budget was therefore revised to a tune of 224 billion, 697,899,063 naira. Based on this revised budget, we have been able to make some appreciable progress in fulfilling our promises to Enugu. Over the last few months, in our view, some of the more notable achievements have included the following. A, we have recently launched the ultra-modern water scheme at 9, which has a daily production capacity of 70,000 cubic meters. This translates to 70 million liters of clean water, combined with the production of 50 million liters from Oji River. This gives us a total daily volume of 120 million liters a day, as against less than 2 million liters we met on assumption of office. This achievement disrupts over 2 decades water scarcity in Enugu urban, and also fulfills our promise to Ndi Enugu to provide Enugu urban residents with water within 180 days. We have awarded contracts for the construction and rehabilitation work on the over 81 roads, including several urban roads, as well as some priority non-urban urban roads, such as the dualization of Enugu Airport flyover to Eke, Obinago, and the Boeing border, approximately 22 kilometers, and also construction of Owo, Obaho, Amankanu, Neke, Ikem Road of approximately 45 kilometers. As you may be aware, work on these roads have since commenced. We have also expanded the National Cash Transfer Register of the federal government from 43,000 to 260,000 beneficiaries. The expansion was to accommodate more poor and vulnerable residents in the state, in line with our vision to eradicate poverty. We have commenced the accumulation of 300,000 hectares of land for our land bank, which will be made available to corporate farmers for massive cultivation of agro-produce. In line with this, one partner firm is already planting cassava under the pilot scheme of cassava to ethanol program in our Ninri, Nkanu East, and Ozowani local government areas. Related to this, we have advanced conversations with key development agencies for the development of special processing zones in the 3 senatorial areas of the state. We also held the Enugu State Investment Roundtable, which attracted the best of the private sector, as well as development partners, such as the AFDB, Afri-Exim, FCDO, the World Bank, and many others, thus signaling our government's zeal to transform Enugu State into private sector-driven economy. In line with our commitment to reinvent our education system in Enugu State, we are constructing 260 smart model basic schools across the 260 wards in the state, which will rank amongst the best in the country. The pilot smart model basic school in a local government area is now ready for commissioning, and similar schools will be replicated in all the 260 wards across the 17 local government councils in the state. We are also in the process of constructing 260 Type 2 primary healthcare centers across the 260 wards in the state to cater for the health needs of rural communities, which are paramount in our healthcare agenda. Last but not the least, in recognition that no economic growth is possible without security, we have ensured of the ignoble Monday sit-at-home campaign and boosted the security framework within the state with the introduction of the Distress Response Squad, which has recorded several successes, effectively bringing the crime rate in Enugu State to a bare minimum. We are going further by commencing the installation CCTV surveillance network around the state. Work is at an advanced stage on this initiative. The 2024 to 2026 multi-year budget is named Budget of Disruptive Economic Growth. This is on account of the fact that it is structured to drive growth in a markedly different pattern than we have attempted to do hitherto. This departure from the usual is most apparent in two main areas. Firstly, our approach to basic education, where we are bringing into effect our cutoff program through the development of the 260 model schools I had alluded to earlier. These schools are unique, not only in the fact that they will house the entire basic school classes from creche to JS3, but also in terms to the significant changes we are making to the curriculum of the children, where we will be infusing new subjects areas like technology, robotics, artificial intelligence, etc. In addition, the approach to teaching in these schools will be experiential, with extensive use of practical examples, dramatization, gamification, among others. This naturally requires extensive retraining of our teachers to enable them grasp these new learning approaches, as well as the various technology-based teaching and learning tools, which we shall deploy. For example, tablets, interactive whiteboards, learning management system, and many others. Beyond the hard elements of learning, we will also infuse many softer elements such as ethics, morals, critical thinking, and hygiene to prepare our children to become the leaders we need tomorrow. Another major area of positive disruption finds expression in this budget is our drive to change our approach to public service by infusing the use of technology. In this regard, we are in the process of developing a new automated approach to governance that will involve the automation of all the MDAs in the government, both in terms of how they run their internal operations and in terms of how they serve the populace. Upon conclusion of this transition to e-governance, it will be possible to initiate most government services without one visiting any government office or physically interacting with any public officer. This will result in increased operational efficiency in government and a higher level of service delivery with fewer revenue leakages. Implementing this will naturally require extensive training and retraining of our public servants to acquaint them with both the new technological tools required as well as the improved working processes to be adopted in executing their work functions under this new dispensation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, permit me to present the summary of the recurrent and capital and its proposed allocations to each sector that makes up this new budget of disruptive economic growth. We are proposing a total budget size of 521 billion 561 million 386,000 naira for the 2024 fiscal year as against the approved revised provision of 224 billion 697 million 899,000 naira for 2023. This represents a 132% increase from the 2023 revised budget. The budget breakdown is as follows. Recurrent expenditure, 107 billion 227 million 266,000 naira. Capital expenditure, 414 billion 334 million 120,000 naira. That brings a total of 521 billion 561 million 386,000 naira. In the area of our revenues, we estimated that total recurrent revenue during 2024 will amount to 383 billion 789 million naira, as against the approved revised provision for 2023 of 143 billion 571 million 592,917 naira. The recurrent revenues for 2024 are broken down as follows. Opening balance, 11 billion naira. Internally generated revenue, 252 billion 789 million naira. Statutory revenue, 60 billion naira. Excess crude and others, 16 billion naira. Value added tax, 44 billion naira. Bringing our total recurrent revenue to 383 billion 789 million naira. For 2024 fiscal year, recurrent expenditure, which is proposed at 107 billion 227 million 266,000 naira, is made up of personnel costs, 47 billion 583 million 677,000 naira. Overhead costs, 41 billion 804 million 698,000 naira. Consolidated revenue fund charges, 17 billion 838 million 891,000 naira. With the total recurrent expenditure at 107 billion 227 million 266,000 naira. This translates to a net recurrent revenue of 276 billion 561 million 734,000 naira, which is thus transferred to the Capital Development Fund. The total capital expenditure for the year 2024 is projected at 414 billion 334 million 120,000 naira. It's as against 135 billion 715 million 99,603 naira for the 2023 revised budget. The current capital expenditure estimate will be funded from the sum of 276 billion 561 million 734,000 naira to be transferred from the Consolidated Revenue Fund and the capital receipts of 137 billion 772 million 386,000 naira to be realized as follows. External and internal aids and grants, 27 billion 922 million 386,000 naira. Public-private partnership, 6 billion 100 million naira. Domestic loans / borrowing receipts, 71 billion naira. International loans, again / borrowing receipts, 32 billion 750 million naira. On a sectoral basis, the capital expenditure is broken down as follows. Administration, 20 billion 877 million 662,350 naira. Economic sector, 207 billion 837 million 753,513 naira. Law and justice sector, 1 billion 225 million 643,490 naira. Regional sector, 1 billion 144 million 550,000 naira. Social services sector, 182 billion 949 million 510,648 naira. As I mentioned earlier, education is a key plank in our strategy to eradicate poverty in our state. Consequently, 134 billion 587 million 982,647 naira 78 kobo, representing 73.6% of the social service sector, has been earmarked to help reinvent education in our state by developing the new smart schools, which I mentioned earlier, as well as repositioning our senior secondary and tertiary institutions by training and retraining teachers and updating our curricula across all levels of education to infuse technology and technology appreciation skills. This capital expenditure on education, combined with the planned recurrent expenditure in the sector, will bring our total spend on education to 33% of the total budget. Healthcare remains paramount, especially in these challenging times. This budget allocates the sum of 21 billion 777 million 421,000 naira to enhance healthcare facilities, expand access to quality healthcare services, and bolster our response to health emergencies. Our goal is to ensure every citizen has access to reliable and efficient healthcare. We pledge to upgrade healthcare facilities, ensure the availability of essential medicines, and implement initiatives to enhance public health awareness. In particular, we have commenced the construction of 260 Type 2 primary health care centers across the 260 wards in the state to cater for the health needs of our rural communities. We also understand the significance of infrastructural development in propelling economic growth. Hence, 82 billion 535 million 147,361 naira 3 kobo is planned for road construction, maintenance, and rehabilitation of public buildings across the state. These initiatives will facilitate smoother connectivities, bolster trade, and enhance overall accessibility and attract investments and create jobs. 28 billion 970 million 250,000 naira is planned for the enhancement of the water sector to ensure safe and quality water supply to Enugu. This investment will ensure the expansion of the current water scheme by boosting reticulation of water across the Enugu metropolis. Agriculture remains a crucial sector in our drive towards self-sufficiency and economic diversification. We are committed to developing a special agro-processing zone in each of the senatorial zones. Indeed, we have reached an understanding with a development agency for the first one, on which work will commence next year. These zones will enable us to support farmers with modern techniques, infrastructure, and access to markets, ultimately boosting food production and creating employment opportunities. We are also in advanced stages of discussion with funders for the development of a quality assurance center in Enugu State to facilitate the export of agro commodities from Enugu Airport. In order to achieve this, a sum of 25 billion 184 million 154,671 naira 81 kobo has been earmarked for this sector in the 2024 budget. Additionally, this budget prioritizes job creation, empowerment programs for our youth, and initiatives to attract private sector investment. We are dedicated to fostering an environment that encourages entrepreneurship and innovation, thereby unlocking the full potential of our vibrant populace. Furthermore, we are committed to ensuring good governance, accountability, and the prudent management of public funds. We will work tirelessly to eradicate corruption and promote a culture of transparency in all government activities. Fiscal prudence and accountability will remain at the core of our financial management. We will ensure transparency in the utilization of resources, optimizing every naira to deliver maximum value for the citizens of Enugu State. To support our fiscal initiatives and improve implementation effectiveness, this administration will also pursue the following initiatives. A. Sustain an effective collaboration with security agencies and strengthen our logistics support to remain among the most peaceful states in Nigeria. B. Increase public-private partnership with relevant investors to invest in the key sectors of the state economy and undertake robust human capital development. C. Expand the industrial base of the state through rapid industrialization and harnessing of our untapped mineral resources in the state. Provide an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive through extensive improvements in the ease of doing business ranking of the state. E. Increase the domestic revenue base significantly by eliminating evasion and leakages in collection and expenditure. Develop the tourism potentials of the state and enhance creative industry. Stimulate the agricultural and agro-allied industries to boost production of local farmers to ensure food sufficiency for local consumption, exports, as well as the provision of raw materials for the industries. Rapid empowerment of children, women, and youth through capacity building, empowerment skill acquisition, and elimination of gender discrimination practices. Reorientation of public servants through training and retraining. Effective intra and inter-MDAs collaboration by digitizing operations to enhance service delivery. Provide recreational and sporting facilities to increase life expectancy, boost sports development, and ensure improved performance of the state representatives at local, national, and international sporting competitions. Strengthen performance monitoring mechanism with central coordinating unit at the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning Commission. Improve fiscal transparency and accountability in all MDAs with emphasis on due process and cost effectiveness in all programs and projects of government. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this our budget of disruptive economic growth represents our collective aspiration and endeavors to build a more prosperous, inclusive, and resilient Enugu State. Consequently, I urge all stakeholders to join hands in this journey towards a better future for all residents in Enugu. Together, we will achieve greatness and leave a legacy of progress for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, thank you very much for this opportunity, and God bless you and the entire people of Enugu State. I wish you a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Certainly, tomorrow is here.
Excellency, may you now lay the budgets on the table.
All right, that's the governor, executive governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba, taking a bow as he presents the 521.5 billion naira budget of disruptive economic growth to the House. And there he is, of course, leaving as he has presented the budget. And he has spoken about technology, education, healthcare, and possibly most important of all, providing an enabling business environment to attract investments to Enugu State.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Enugu State, the Deputy Speaker of Enugu State House of Assembly, the principal officers and distinguished members of this hallowed chamber, the members of the Executive Council here present. Let me use this opportunity to recognize the Commissioner for Water Resources for the job they have done in the ministry. Local government council chairman here present, the chairman of Oji River and the chairman of Isuzu. You guys are here. Our revered traditional rulers here present, party faithfuls, members of the Fourth Estate of the realm, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, sir, your presence in this hallowed chamber today is historic because it is your first time since you took office as Executive Governor of Enugu State on May 29, 2023. What you have come to do is a fulfillment of the letters and spirit of the Section 121, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. You have laid the budget of the state on the table. Having fulfilled this sacred obligation, Your Excellency, I want to assure you that the 8th Assembly is solidly behind you and shall support your policies towards achieving a 0% rate in our headcount index, poverty headcount index, and towards exponential growth of our GDP from $4.4 billion to $30 billion, and other policies of this administration in the next 80 years. That is very important. With your achievements in the past 180 days or thereabouts, Your Excellency, you have demonstrated capacity to deliver. The budget size is unusually big. Yes, now business unusual, and we have confidence that you will surely deliver. You can say that from your antecedents. Your Excellency, I want to use this opportunity to let you know that in this hallowed chamber, we don't have PDP or LP. We have one united house, united by a zeal to serve our people. On this note, on behalf of the members of this hallowed chamber, I promise that we shall give this budget an accelerated hearing so that you will continue to serve our people without any hitch. On that note, may God bless Enugu State House of Assembly. May God bless our dear governor. May God bless Enugu State and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. At this juncture, Your Excellency, we have fast spent the day, and we shall rise for the national anthem. After the national anthem, Your Excellency, we will have reception at refreshment at we have a hall downstairs, and we have below the step, and then at the conference hall of the House of Assembly at the top floor. I expect members of your entourage and critical stakeholders, the local government council chairmen and commissioners, to come up with His Excellency to the hall. We have different points, where we serve food, that we serve the general public and other people. So on this note, I will now.
All right, once again, the governor of Enugu State, Peter Umba, presenting the 521 billion budget of disruptive economic growth.
So please accompany His Excellency to my office while